B, C, or D? D? All right. So this is March 31st. All right.
Exactly. Whoa, whoa, don't bring up the chair now.
Okay, so now this is one that to look at here, you're saying to yourself, oh my goodness, I don't know what to do because it's not in parametric. The question said write in parametric and vector form. Okay. What did we have? What did we need to have in order to write something in vector or parametric form? There are two things we needed. It's either this or this. Here. Direction vector and a point. We have neither of those right now. What's the other option that we could use? 2 points. How could I get 2 points from this? Go ahead. Yeah, you can use X and Y intercept to work quite nicely. Okay. So you can use any 2 points that you want. So you have to choose 2 points. Okay, so X and Y intercept, I like the idea of that. Okay, so for the first one, I'm going to say 8x plus 9 times 0 is negative 45. Ugh. There's no way you can make that better. That's going to be an ugly fraction, but that's okay. So x equals negative 45 over 8. So as a vector, what's my point going to be as a vector? What comma what? Go ahead.
Negative 45 over 8 and 0.
Good. That should be comma bracket, comma 0. That's true. Okay, so everyone see what we're trying to do here, though? We're just going to use 2 points, and we're going to do the same thing we did yesterday. All right. For the y-intercept, then, I'm going to say 8 times 0 plus 9y equals negative 45. So then y is going to equal negative 5. So my second point, then, is going to be 0 and negative 5. All right, I'm going to go back to Spider-Man, which means Victoria, I'm going to pick on you, if you don't mind. How do I find the direction vector? Did you recall from yesterday?
You can do, so you can do vector AB. So
yeah.
What you can do is that gives you 0 minus negative 45 over 8, comma, 5 minus 0. Or what was that? Negative 5 minus 0.
Yeah, sorry. I know I missed the letter.
No, it's okay.
Okay, that is one possible slope. Matt, I don't like that slope, though, if you don't mind me saying so. Do you think of a way I can make that slope nicer?
You have to like multiply by 9.
Yeah. Get rid of the fraction, okay? So I'm going to call it, 45 comma negative 40. Is everyone okay on how I got that? I just multiplied the entire thing by 8. I'm still not happy with that one. Nathan, think of this like fractions. 45 and 40 I don't like. What can I do to make those numbers? Divide both by 5. So I'm going to say m is equal to. Now there is a connection here to this.
So the coefficients on the front end up being reversed?
It would be the negative reciprocal is what you're thinking here, okay? So basically, and we'll talk about this more in the next few days, okay, right? But this would give you, the normal would be 8 comma 9, so it would be something perpendicular. The original one would just be flipped, okay? But that's what I do with points. So then we need a point. So can somebody please, that being Hannah, can you please choose your favorite point for me? Do you want to use 0 comma 5 or negative 45 over 8 comma 0? Thank you, I'm glad you chose that one. Okay, can you give me the vector equation of the line, please, then? Yeah? what your point is?
The point
Yeah,
is, so 0.
good. Yeah. Yeah, good. Okay. Now, just thinking a little bit differently, right? This one wasn't super hard, it's just if you missed the idea of what you're doing on this one, right, then it's hard to do. All right, Cecilia, can you be brave, please, and give me the parametric equations, please. Good. Now, if you're sitting in the front row or the back row, we're calendar by ourselves today, and you're saying you don't understand, please be brave and ask, because we're moving on stuff faster than this. James, all's well? Your parents are the nicest. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. Everyone's parents are equally nice. That came out wrong. That came out wrong. That came out wrong. That came out wrong.
My dad can't beat up your dad.
My dad's nice than your dad.
Probably.
All right, let's not go there. That came out bad. Okay, 23D I'll do quickly here, and then we'll move on to 24 fastly. 23D, find 3 more points on the same line. Is that the one? 23D. So that's one who wanted 23D. That was. Yes. Okay. So in order to find points on the same line, I'm just going to use this one and treat it. So you've already made vector and parametric equations, right, for this? Okay. So all you would do to find more points on the line. Well, somebody help me. Let's say I wanted to find points on that line. How would I do? What would I do? Sorry? So, yeah. Okay, so you're just going to choose different values for t. Okay, right? T could be -5, T could be -13/2. It can be whatever you want, but it's got to just be different values in there for t, and that'll give you more points on the line. Does that make sense? A little bit? Yes? T is just going to be any number. So back to this t here, it can be any real number. It could be. What does it mean? It's just like the multiplier. That's what it is. So it's like your points starting here at 0 and 5. A single step is over 9 and down 8, but you can take fractions of the steps to get the consistent line. Right? That's what it is. Yeah.
On 23C, how do you determine it if it's like perpendicular to AB?
That's what I was going to do actually for 24. Can I do 24? Because that leads in the same way here. Okay. 24A, my equation is this. Okay. Alistair, I'm going to pick on you because I don't know if it's your turn or not, but I heard you had a good answer for this. How did you find last night to get a perpendicular line to that? Yeah. Awesome. So what we said is, remember if A dot B equals 0, right, that's going to be two things that are perpendicular. So what Alistair hopefully did was he took the direction vector, which should be 2, -3, -1, and dotted that with, I'm going to call it x, y, z, and it should give you 0. Now the thing is, there are going to be an infinite number of things that are parallel, okay? Because if you think of this being a line, and this, well, actually, let's even use something that you guys can see better. Assume the top, this, you know what I mean, this row up here is your line. Think of the number of things that could be perpendicular to that. Right, this could be, it could be perpendicular if I was that tall, out like this. It could be, you know what I mean? It could go all the way through. There's an infinite number of solutions that would work in any direction. Okay, so technically this is also perpendicular, if you can believe it, right? So again, so you can just pick any numbers x, y, and z that'll work out. Since everything works out to be 6, I'm going to choose 3. 2 and 0. Okay. Now how do I get that in my head? Well, 2 times 3 is 6. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6, so 6 minus 6 is just 0. So that should work out to 0 equals 0. Okay, so that's how you check for perpendicularity.
What about the 1?
Sorry?
6 minus 6 is 0.
Well, because 1 times 0, though, that's why I just chose to see 1 to be 0 that night. And you can use any one that'll work out. Like I could have chosen, because this is 2 negative 3, sorry, that's negative 1? It's true, it is negative 0, right? Which doesn't make sense. Okay. So we sort of feeling okay about that? A little bit? We'll talk more about perpendicularity. I love that word. I can't believe I use it twice in one day. 3 times. Perpendicularity, we'll talk more about today, because we're going more into the 3rd dimension. I'm going to hit pause in the video. You guys got a second to catch your breath, and then we'll start off with today's lesson.